What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republics. Off the air, it's Tuesday night. I almost said daily broadcast. You got me if you think you got me. You totally did. I almost messed that up. But it's Tuesday night. I'm stoked to be here. We're going to break down NXT, and we've got the best crew in the game hanging out. First and foremost, I'm going to send this one out to the DMV. It's Tuesday night, so get your twos up for the Tuesday night delight. It's Shoddy. What's good?
What's going on, Clark? We are back in full effect. It is NXT off the air, and we got a lot to talk about, man. It seems like people are coming to visit NXT today, and I'm just mad that we haven't got the invitation. So
Yeah, I'm upset about the non-invite myself too. There's no doubt about that. But there is somebody else that we have that's a co-host today. He's out in Louisville, Kentucky, and there's something that we need to do something about, and Driz is about to remind us what's good.
It's cold. It's cold. It is freezing out there. But good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. You should also bring me a jacket because it's like 15 degrees outside. And it's cold in these parts of the country. It's crazy out here. But it's all right because I can warm myself up in the beautiful feeling and knowing that Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson are number one contenders for the WWE Women's Championship tag titles once again. Clap it up for y'all.
By the way, I love that. And Driz is out here preparing for a winter vortex, basically having a t-shirt funeral, spending the last few minutes in a t-shirt he can with us talking.
It's snowing outside right now for me too.
Yeah. Keep that stuff over there. Don't bring it down here. We've got enough. I still got stuff on the ground over here.
So do I.
It is literally a thick sheet of ice that snow on top of that.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Yeah. Between me and Drizzy, when it comes to weather right now, we've got fire and ice. We're basically a WCW tag team from the late 90s.
Oh, they don't know nothing about fire and ice. They don't know about Scott Norton and Ice Train.
Yes, and Ice Train. By the way, funny story from my childhood. Big fan of Fire and Ice because how could you not be as a 6-year-old? But I was absolutely convinced that Ice Train was called Ice Tray. So, like, I had this whole thing, like, during the matches, I'd go to the fridge and grab the ice tray in honor of Ice Train. Big mess up. Not the same thing at all. Just a mispronunciation there.
It's okay. Go with it.
He was better. He was better than Norton anyway. I will say that. And Norton was a stud too.
He was always more athletic. Scott Norton just had the charisma.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
It was a lot of Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee connection there too. So wrestling history out of the gates here on Off the Air. But let's start with wrestling current because I've got a little bit of a rant to go on. We've watched a lot of shows since this Netflix era has gotten underway, and there's been a lot of movement and a lot of different stuff going on when it comes to Monday Night Raw, NXT, and even SmackDown. I like the credits. I think it's cool. It feels a bit like a movie in the end of stuff that's important. But tonight and a few other times, it does feel like they're just cutting off whatever's going on in the ring. And I'm not sure long term that we're going to get fully used to this because it's different. It is. And I don't know how many people have pointed it out, but it's different. Things have changed in the last 2 months. As far as broadcasting is concerned, as far as the on-screen product is concerned, it's still very good. But that end of the show is a marker for what's going on, and I'm not exactly convinced that the ending was supposed to be the middle of what seemed to be a physical confrontation between Bayley and Roxanne Perez. Nothing about the end of the show convinced me that that was the intended ending, except the credits. And that is something that's interesting. That's something we're going to have to think about because it does change the way our weekly television ends as wrestling fans. I don't know. I want to get y'all's thoughts, both Drizzy and Shad. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very.
I
It's
don't.
almost. Go
Go
ahead. You
ahead.
go first. You go ahead. No, you go
Nah,
ahead. Go first.
I don't like it either. I feel like you leave things in an awkward cliffhanger. And honestly, I'll be real with you. I don't really like care for the end credits of who produced the show and all that too. Like maybe I'm old school. Maybe I like wrestling as wrestling, but I do feel like Triple H has even said it where he, virtually said kayfabe is dead. Um, and everyone is an actor and actress. And I know that's the case, but like we are trying to get it a little bit too TV showish and too cinematic in that manner. And it's something that I definitely have to get used to, but I don't know if it's a conversation we need to have with the networks, with the streaming services. I'm not sure, but we do need to, find the production where it does conclude in a correct manner because it went pitch to black as Bailey and Roxanne was scuffling with each other. And I mean, are we gonna talk about we're gonna talk about this, then get to the topic of the actual what happened, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to the topic for sure, but at the same time, to your
I,
point, right?
I
It
don't
could
hate it.
be perceived either way. Go ahead, Drizzy. No. Like, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't hate it. I want y'all to think back to the simpler days of just having two companies, WCW, WWE. WCW was notorious for cutting off in the middle of brawls because it's making you like, oh my god, as you're laying down at night, you're thinking like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? What's going on? Who won? What's going on? You're gonna want to look next week because they gotta show you what's happening. So I don't necessarily hate it. I think it's just an old school. Triple H does a lot of old WCW things, but seeing it how it worked at one point in time, now they're trying to let's bring it back. I mean, and just tweak it a little bit. And I don't hate it 100%. This one did seem a little bit more abrupt, but it's you can go out with some fighting. You like go out with them fighting at least.
I agree. I think this is where it's interesting, though, Driz. This one didn't feel so intentional,
Mm.
and if it was, then they got me, and nothing but respect, right? And
Mm.
but I think my issue is this one didn't feel on purpose,
Mm.
right? This felt like they ran out of time. Like there
Yeah.
was one big punchline coming, and they didn't quite get to it, so they
Yeah.
started slugging, right? And that clock's there,
And it's
especially on
probably
a
because of
sound
C
stage
Dub.
at NXT.
You think it's because of Mr. Dwayne last week who went a little bit overboard and
Which was and calling out the time and whatnot, the unpredictability. If it was in response to that, then good on HBK. If it was in response to that, and this was to make it feel more unpredictable at the end of the show, given the new production, this is a
yeah,
different end of the show. It isn't the watermark, it's credits. It changes the way you finish the show. It does.
yeah,
Whether we like it or not, I don't mind that it's credits or whatever, but at the end of the day, it does change the way that you're going to perceive the end of the show by comparison to just show the watermark and then it was what preview of the next TV show or the movie, right?
yeah.
Now it's full blown credits, and
The
so it
next
does.
The next question is this just a CW thing, or
Yeah,
does
well,
Netflix
but
get to
they're
see
doing it
the
on
actual
Netflix
end?
as well. Executive producer
Okay.
Paul Levesque. They're
Yeah.
flashing the
No, I'm talking
same thing
about
on.
so like you see how tonight
No,
it just kind of
I think the
abruptly went
abrupt
off,
I think the abrupt ending is CW pulling it
pulling the plug. Like
because
it literally
of
looks
the
like
time.
nope, plug pull. But is
But
Netflix
see,
still seeing the fight?
so with the Netflix thing, right? Like, there's nothing playing after Netflix. It's literally on a streaming service. So I don't understand why they're
Yeah,
so, why they would even need to be up and at 'em for times, especially like this whole thing where last week it was over 3 hours, then yesterday it was 2.5 hours. Triple H joke said we might have a 40-minute episode. Like, it seemed like they're just kind of going with the punches on Mondays.
I think it is one of those things where they're not handcuffed anymore. They're not handcuffed to like, no, you have to be on for this amount of time. You can do whatever you want now. They decided to go off at 10:30 last night and tonight because the CW contract is more lucrative than the Netflix one, they're probably handcuffed to that time frame. But
that's where tonight for me it was like I didn't hate it. Like I'm not sitting here trying to be like, oh no. But my spidey senses were like, what went wrong? Like we missed the punchline here, right? Like we missed what this was supposed to be, what this was supposed to set up, because it wasn't just to set up Bailey. Bailey wasn't just
CW doesn't really give overruns. So I mean,
it's true. No, exactly, but
and they're not cable; they are network television. Too.
Let's run through a bunch of comments really quick and then get into the first topic because I think it's kind of related to that one. We'll stick with this last encounter, but we've of course got Bobby Batista with "What's up, Clark Dryzzy" and Shad. He's got his twos up. DCX Warlord shout out, also friend of the show with "Imagine it was AJ Lee and not Bailey." We've also got Aunt You official. What's good, Aunt? Itsy friend with "What up, Clark?"
Is that like Chase Hughes? Like
I'm ready for it. And then
Sister College.
We got Boogs with "What up?" We got "What's poppin', everyone?" No, Aunt U's the man. He said, "Follow my man Clark. He is amazing." Yeah, no, Aunt U's a friend of the show, no question. Y'all
the logo look just like the Chase U joint.
No, I know it's Aunt U though. Y'all need to meet Aunt.
A play on
He's big Aunt. He's big Aunt.
What up, bro? The logo tripped me out. I was like, that joint look just like the Chase U joint.
There's no doubt about it. Okay, let's talk about this Roxanne Perez promo though. Let's talk about Roxanne and then Bailey. Bailey has been, I think, awesome. She hit a ding dong today, which I was appreciative of. I've been looking for a ding dong out of Bailey for a long time. That was when Bailey was at her finest. Bailey dose straps, ding dong, hello. Like, she nailed it.
I missed the door.
I missed the door. Thank you. Yeah. She was the first one that opened the forbidden door. That's all I'm saying. Ask Bailey.
I like that.
Anyway, the net of it is she got called BBL Bailey last night too by Nia Jax. She showed up tonight.
It's always gonna hit. It's always gonna be a great one too. It's always gonna be a great
man. I can't even make a remark on that because it's gonna sound strange either way I say it.
She's throwing hands with Roxanne, which I was hoping would set up something.
Jersey knows those who know. Bailey ain't got no BBL.
That's all natural.
It's natural.
It looks soft.
No. I don't think anyone was implying anything about except Nia Jax.
Yeah, no, Nia
Jax.
Yo, Nia, watch your mouth.
Ridiculous suggestion,
Bailey, bro.
Hey, Nia look good too.
Yo, Nia kind of looking like Joy Taylor a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah, I know I love Joy.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So does Emmanuel.
He brings joy to my. It brings joy to my soul.
My cat trying to
calm down. You have a cat running just now, dang it. Okay. So anyway, show ended with Roxanne. But was this not just a promo for Bailey's main roster stuff by the end of it? That's what she ended the show on. Somebody explain what else we did here, and then let's actually talk about like Vaquer and Shotzi after that.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go first? Go ahead, buddy. I'll go first.
Driz, I clicked the wrong button. No, I actually meant to click Driz.
All right, so I think we are now getting to the point that everything is so cohesive between the main roster and NXT that we're not gonna get like the old school days where the night after WrestleMania we just get a handful of NXT guys and sprinkle them between the two shows. I think we're gonna start getting unique to each person's call up. When I say that, I mean you're gonna get like like for the women's tag title, I automatically look at Lash and Jakar as called up. They got involved in the women's tag like that, and in the tournament for the U.S. title. I think that's just how they brought them up. For this now, I think that they're going to insert Roxanne into Bailey's title match with Tiffany Stratton, and I really believe that this is how they're gonna get Roxanne on the main roster, introduce her to people, and give her a proper push into the women's division, and just kind of let her. I'm not gonna say she let her see if she can swim because she's been showing for the last few years that she can definitely swim with the best of them, and she is a student of the game at only like 24 years old. So I think that, and who else better to be on the main roster and have your first feud with than one of the four horsewomen, probably one of the more creative ones too, in Bailey. She's open to making sure that she makes Roxanne look good, and Roxanne is definitely one of the better. I don't even want to. It's like she's a veteran because she's been around for a while already.
Here's my
I'm
only
the
thing,
rookie in the
Grizz.
vet, boy.
I want Monday Night Roxanne. Monday Night Roxanne.
And you heard Bailey hit
Willie's
her up
on
like,
Friday.
well, you heard how Bailey hit her when she came in the ring. Like, what's going on? I'm on Tuesday Night Rocks. Like that was dope. Monday Night Rocks in.
She's
You're cooking a little
also,
bit.
yeah.
Do you
All right, you can
smell
definitely
what?
get Friday
Do
Night
you
Rocks.
smell what the Rocks is cooking?
Stop
Hey,
it, Sean.
Do you smell what the Rocks is cooking? All right. Anyways, let me be serious for a second. Yeah, I thought this was a surprise for sure. In regards to Bailey popping out, I do like it a lot. I think the parallels between both women are pretty uh like I feel like that is kind of like if I was to give a comparison of who Roxanne could eventually be, it is Bailey, and I say that in the highest regards. Just being a technical savant, being so good on the in-ring work and playing a good baby face, but now playing a really good heel. And I thought the promo that she cut was really, really good. She's letting y'all know that the NXT women's division is the standard of what women's wrestling is. And she is the standard of why it is that because she was our, longest reign champion for that tenure, putting on classics upon classics, arguably being one of the best women superstars in 2024. And now that her reign is over, they feel like it's not going to be the same. And then you got Bailey coming out. It's something that gets everyone interested, and it's another litmus test. Now, is this the call up for Roxanne? Possibly. I do know that we have Bailey and Tiffany on Friday. And my only issue with that, if it is Roxanne that helps Bailey lose on Friday, like what are we doing with Tiffany Stratton on a character aspect at that point as our world champion? Because like the teetering of a baby face and a heel, I don't really understand it. I feel like you kind of just got to go with a baby face because she's so over with the fans. But that's a separate argument. Bailey being the hand that can get Roxanne onto the main roster, being Roxanne's maybe initial feud, I do like that a lot. But I also like it as just Bailey doing an excursion and working in NXT. I'm one that has said Bailey going to NXT in the transfer portal wouldn't be a bad idea because I'm gonna be real with you. Bailey feels cold right now. After
I thought so
WrestleMania,
too.
what's up?
I think so too. Even the hair dye, like the purple hair
I
thing, I was a little
I
like,
feel
are you just trying to remind us of the Sasha match? Because Sasha had
so.
purple hair then?
I do agree. I do feel it too. She is a little bit cool, but I also feel it's also because there's not too much for her to do on the main roster right now. There's not too much. They got a lot going on right now, and also I don't think this version of Bailey works as a face. Like this Bailey hit so much because
Yeah.
it was a heel.
Well,
And
and
the ding dong, it all fits as a heel. And like the
no
insert, like
ponytail. She's not
yeah,
hugging. She doesn't have the inflatable
It's
arm
a
flailing
look,
tube
man.
man.
Let's call it. Let's be real for a second.
No,
WWE
I'm with
on
you. I'm
a
actually
main
Drizzy is on to
the
something there.
main
Like you're
but
100% right.
the main roster WWE don't know how to advance baby faces after they accomplish the
It's
chase.
They've been successful with one baby face in the last 10 years. I will give you that 100%. One baby face in 10 years.
That's the problem is right now Bailey's a babyface because she sat in the kiddie pool that was Damage Control for 2 damn years. Sorry, now I'm getting frustrated. Bailey sat in the children's pool adjacent to the adult pool where you can swim and float and it's nice in that 1-foot pee water
In what
in the
regard?
1
Like
foot
just the
pee
faction or the
water
people that she
and
was
let
with?
everybody else jump into the real pool. She let EO and put everybody over at the height of her career. She was at the peak of her career off of Bailey Doe straps, off of teaming with Sasha, off of the rivalry with Sasha, off the Hell in a Cell match in front of no fans with Sasha. That in front of fans is an all-time classic and is one of the most underrated matches of the pandemic era by far. Go back and watch it.
I
Go
agree,
back and watch it. That match
agree.
is as good as it gets. And off of that, yes, Dakota Kai is awesome. Yes, Io Sky is awesome. But what they did with Damage Control was sit Bailey in the kiddie pool while she waved at her friends and they did their first cannonballs into the deep end. And it's bogus. And it's time that we bring an actual Bailey back. And the only reason that she's a baby face at all in the first place is because we all know how good Bailey is and can be. And nothing's changed since this Damage Control storyline that was absolutely bogus and a gigantic waste of time for everybody not named Io Sky because it didn't even benefit Dakota Kai. Never did. Not even for a minute. She hasn't advanced a lick. So it only advanced one person, and that's fine for what it is, and Io Sky is awesome. But we need actual Bailey back in some capacity to be more taken more seriously. The only reason she's a babyface is because we know how good she can be. And so now it's time to actually let her play. Let her go.
But doing what though? She's accomplished all of these accomplishments. There's nothing more for her to win a title, in my opinion. I don't really want to see her be a champion again at this point in juncture of time.
Because of the staleness of the last 2.5 years.
No, she's just I don't.
But would you argue that you want to see Becky Lynch be a champion?
No.
So you don't want to see Becky win the title
at this current juncture of time? No, I would rather see other people get it.
That's fair.
I'd rather see.
That's totally fair.
I really think Bayley would have been a good candidate to win the Intercontinental.
I think there's a lot of women that like I would like if you're asking me at this current juncture of time and who's on the roster, there are people like I don't freaking know someone that they don't give a damn about pushing as a singles anymore when the whole IWC was complaining about her when she was the last important champion, in my opinion, Miss Bianca Belair. Miss Bianca Belair, people were tripping about and saying that she was becoming Super Cena, but Bianca Belair not in the main event picture and fighting for a championship at this current juncture of time is an asinine thing on the WWE. I don't care what nobody says. That's LeBron James. All right. That is your LeBron James of the women's division.
I'm with you on Bianca.
Like, and then Jade Cargill. Why haven't we built her up? Why don't we have the confidence in letting her go into the stuff like that? Even EO, they didn't like, you know what? Even Liv Morgan. Damn. I didn't mean to kick myself out.
She had to leave the chat. I was about to say, by the way, when you said Liv Morgan, I'm like, we've got our BBL there. We've got Bailey. We've got Bianca.
I can't talk.
We've got Liv.
I can't talk too crazy about Liv. Wifey will hit me with make me.
No, I don't mean that negatively. I'm just saying we've got all three.
The universe laughed about the Liv comment, bro. Liv Morgan is a very good wrestling superstar. Like I don't understand.
I know y'all don't want to. I know they don't want to sit there and accept this, but Liv has come a long way from the girl wrestling in tights and Jordans with the little fitted hat, looking like a baby Enzo Amore. She has come so far. She has evolved as a person, as a wrestler, and a character.
Nick Aldis, man, salute to Nick Aldis. His interview with CVV put a lot of praise on Liv Morgan. And the correlation to Liv Morgan and Shawn Michaels, no, not as a wrestler, but just the character, the showmanship, her being the like kind of a little bit of a dicey, racy character, being a heartthrob and stuff like this. Bro, she's really special, man. She's good. Yo, MDB, man, get out of here, bro. I was shadow
and
you,
you
bro.
said this was her best run by far, too. We got some positivity here, too.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying they didn't give her a fair title reign because everything was tied to this Rhea story. But if you would have given her an opportunity and mixed it up with other girls, it could have been better.
If you really want to, go ahead, Driz.
I think she did get the mix. She got to mix it on more than she did last time. She got to do way more than she did last time, but this one was way better.
Nobody is giving Sarah Logan any respect, bro. I'm sorry.
Y'all leave her alone.
Well, I mean, by the way, they even messed up the Undertaker rub with the whole Rhea Ripley thing. That was ridiculous. So they let the Undertaker ride his bike around the freaking ring for 5 minutes,
anyway,
and then just put his hand up next to Ripley to be like, "I guess we're cool now." Like, shut up. She should have rode the bike or something. Do something that of relevance. Let her ride the bike. Like, shut up. Stop making it about the Undertaker. It's bogus. He's like, look at me. I'm still here.
All right, man. Anyway, I say that to say this: NXT got the best women's division. The main roster could do better. Let's go to the next topic.
Let's talk about what actually happened on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about.
Oh, this is gonna be we're gonna trash something else again.
Raquel Shotzi via roll up. You gotta be kidding me. But yep, Shotzi is our number one contender. Yeah, I was gonna go. Shad, I knew you were upset because I watched with you, so I was gonna go to you first on this one, then Driz, you next. And then we'll go from there and see how this goes.
Bro, why in any sense would somebody become a number one contender for a title opportunity and give up title opportunity not give it up, right? But virtually give it up because she lost. But why would you have a number one contendership and put it up on a line against somebody else to possibly lose the number one contendership? This is the same thing I complained about with Darby Allin and Jon Moxley last year. Stephanie Vaquer, a woman that I think is probably one of the most talented in-ring wrestlers in professional wrestling and a damn superstar, is looking like a big dummy tonight because she risked her opportunity to become North American champion going against Shotzi. This type of storyline is so stupid. It makes your wrestler look so dumb. Why are we doing it? Like, you're not benefiting anybody in the situation when you do stuff like this. And then you talk about the ending. Bro, y'all come on, NXT. I love y'all, man. I give y'all so much damn respect, bro.
Come on, man.
What are we doing here?
We are absolutely shoving toxic attraction 2.0 down our throats, man.
That was Shad.
And it's
that was Shad. Come on, man. Moment of the week.
What were we thinking? I don't get it either, Shad. Like, Stephanie Vaquer should absolutely thunder kick. I mean, just smother. Absolutely smother Shotzi. And that's no disrespect to Shotzi. Shotzi Blackheart is a heck of a talent. And I love the comment is hilarious. Botch C is terrible. I agree. She is a human car accident.
Let's not do that.
No. The match was good until the ending. The match was not bad.
The match was fine, but what are we doing here?
Shotzi's style is not wrestling. She is exactly that, a walking car accident. She's just balls to the wall. Let's fight. Let's go at it. That's the character. Everybody in the women's division is some sort of good technical wrestler to a certain extent. Shotzi's not that. It's not, and honestly, she's not supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look pretty. So that's where this. on paper, it's that's where this is. This is and styles make fights. This was a really good match. The only thing that got me about it was the shenanigans. Yes, on paper, Stephanie Fucker is probably the better wrestler, but have we ever seen Stephanie in like a brawl? No. She tried to adopt the Shotzi style, and although there's some shenanigans, Shotzi was able to pull one out. I don't hate her for it, but in agreement with Shad, this makes your baby face look stupid. It makes them look goofy. It looks them look gullible. It's very new era. What was it the golden era of wrestling? It's very golden era of wrestling with the baby face. I want to be a fighting and defending contender, and then boom, they're looking on the outside. You're outside looking in now because you gave your spot up.
It bothers me because it feels like Stephanie Foucault is supposed to be a buzzsaw, and like, what did Shotzi just duck under it, or like, did she find the off button?
Yeah, man.
Like, there's no explanation. Like,
The
Stephanie Foucault is a buzzsaw.
Way. It
Like,
it went the wrong way
look,
to get somebody else.
I understand the direction. Obviously, they want Fallon Henley to continue to get some dubs. Probably she's not gonna lose the Shotzi for the title. She probably will lose the title to Vicaire at some point, maybe on a bigger show, grand stage. But like, I just don't like that story where I'm not much of a competitor. I'll give something I earned up on the line. Nah, bro, work smarter, not harder. Come on, Stephanie. But needless to say,
when you get the belt. Do it when you get the actual belt.
Dopest thing is during the commercial, Stephanie was walking out like Debo all backstage, scaring everybody. I thought that was pretty slick. And by the way, I don't want to make it seem like I have no problem with the match up until the ending, nor do I have any problem with Shotzi Blackheart. I thought the chemistry between both women tonight was superb. I thought they had a very good match prior to
I've been
ending.
trying for weeks in the comments to figure out who Shots Below the Belt is, so I was actually honestly trying to be a little negative Shotzi wise, hoping I could connect the dots there, Shot. That's where I was coming from on that too, so I'm in the same boat. I want to know so badly.
Shotzi is Shotzi,
but it's spelled with a Z. It's related. He's a fan or she's a fan. Who knows? Could be anyone, but I was hoping I'd wake them up. You never know.
Yeah.
Our next one also, I don't want to Ron Burgundy this, but it's not really the Unholy Union. Isn't that like Karrion Kross's friends?
No, that's
that's AOP. The Final Testament. The Final Testament is Karrion Kross.
Yeah,
the Unholy. They are not the Unholy Union. They are.
Yeah, what's the actual name?
They are.
Is that what they're called?
What were we calling?
It's Metaphor versus the other team.
I
don't think it's the Unholy Union. I think I'm.
What were we calling Kylan King and Taylor Wilde? That I thought we were calling them the Unholy Union or something along those lines.
No, they're called the Coven.
The Coven. Okay, there we go. All right,
bro. They're called Unholy Union.
Okay, cool. So it was right. I read the teleprompter, so I just didn't want to be wrong.
Well, they very seldom call them by their names anymore. They just call them Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, like they're a put together tag team, and they've been teaming for about the last 4 years.
They're the they're the no longer Holy Union. And then
now they're
got
just hot golf girls.
Yeah, exactly. Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson, though. I mean, main roster, we talk about this often, right? Weirdly on NXT because it's kind of the deal. And obviously on the internet, we've heard a lot of main roster NXT stuff. Shout out Corey Graves. But if I'm looking at the main roster, I'm not sure why Lash and Jakara aren't on it yet. We saw what they did in Saudi Arabia. We saw what they've done thus far as tag team competitors. It's probably time. And whatever that means for Metaphor, I don't really care.
I think Metaphor as a whole is going up there, but they're waiting on Noam Dar.
You think it's
I think
everybody?
it's just Yeah, I think everybody's going in. We saw Oro Mensah tonight, so Noam Dar can't be too far behind. Hopefully, like we know he was hurt real bad. Hopefully, they bring him back in. My girls are number one contenders, and they are going to bring home the belts this time. I'm lucky because I have been screaming from the mountaintops how much I want to see Lash, Jakara, Jade, and Bianca, even though now it's Naomi, just all forms of that together in one ring. And this time, I want a proper match. The last one they had was a squash. I didn't like it. Let them really go out and do what they do. You can't tell me that these those four women wouldn't have a knockdown, drag out 5-star match.
Yeah. I do kind of agree though with this comment here from MDB, which is outgrown metaphor. I think it's true.
Yeah, they
I
have.
don't think I don't think they've outgrown it, but all factions are built the exact same way. All four-man factions are built the exact same way. You have your main eventer, you have your tag team, and you have your singles guy. It's just weird because for so long it's always four men. This time it's two men, two women, and the women are the tag team. It's
Yeah.
revolutionary, really.
That's very true. That's very true. Shad, do you got anything to add on this one? Otherwise, let's move on
Um,
to
I just want to give Jakara Jackson her props. I thought she was a
yeah.
standout in the match. She was working tonight, and yeah, I think that they should probably be the ones to beat Bianca and Naomi for the tag team titles. I think having the belts on them is a good opportunity to let them roam around all the programs, but kind of give them a transition onto the main roster. But all in all, a good showing from them.
No doubt about it. Let's get into Kalani Jordan and Cora Jade. Because I think these two women, we've talked for what is it? How long have we been doing this show? Somebody count in the comments, not us.
We're
We
But it's
almost
a couple years, a
year
year and a half.
year and a half. Yeah.
We've been talking about how it's the best women's division in professional wrestling.
Mhm.
And the perfect example is these two. Kalani and Cora are so damn good. You can't make it up. Stop it. How both aren't just strapped to rocket ships to the moon from here on out. Like it both main eventers in the future. It's not even close. And I enjoyed the match. It wasn't a show stealer by any means necessarily. It was what you would expect. It was a very high quality professional wrestling match out of these two. We're talking about two carry the belt main eventers in the future, both. Absolutely. Like, this is the epitome of this division. And I'm going to go to you first when it comes to this one, Shad, because it's just, it never ends when it comes to the NXT women's division.
Yeah, I thought this was a solid bout against each other. I think we're kind of seeing these two, develop into who they are as superstars. What I like about Kalani Jordan in this current juncture of time and storyline is that she's kind of breaking out of the kind, naive, white meat baby face and showing a little bit of an edge, kind of getting her buttons pushed and snapping, reacting, and showing more emotion on the human side to that. So I definitely think that's been good to see with her as a growth. Cora Jade is sensational. I think she's such a good talent. I think she has a lot of confidence within herself. Plays that cocky heel very well. And I think her coming out victorious was dope. I heard it was her birthday, so happy birthday to her. The 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 big part about this match was what didn't happen in ring, and it was our special guest, Miss Masha Slamovich, in attendance, paying attention, and waving at Cora Jade as she was walking away. I think if we are utilizing this, partnership with TNA, I think Masha Slamovich is the perfect person now that, whether Jordan Grace comes to WWE or not, we'll see what that happens. But Masha is someone who's super underrated and super talented. Once you get her on the TV screen on NXT, I think fans will be enamored and they'll be definitely peeping game. But that's a matchup and a storyline between both because I think Masha kind of being the the fighting champ and kind of the baby face at this current time, and Cora being a really good heel. I mean, give that to TNA for a good pay
The
per view
money
too.
call. And Masha is so well traveled and so experienced and so good in the ring. I agree with you. Masha Cora is where do I sign, right? Like it's one of those scenarios, and I'm 100% with you. Driz, what are your thoughts on this one?
I really enjoyed the match actually. I think it is amazing how, as much as Cora Jade has been out, she has been able to keep up with all the new talent coming in. We talk about this being the best division. She very well could have slipped into the cracks of this division because it's stacked, and she could have definitely fell to the bottom. But she's been able to keep up with the newer ones coming in. She's still been able to be compelling in the ring. She's still been able to be a compelling character. She has done her best and has succeeded in being one of the top stars in that division. And I think it's brilliant not putting her. It's not stuffing everybody into your main event scene. You're putting them in your tag scenes. You're putting them this in the North American scene. Cora Jade, and before she was injured the first time, probably would have been a candidate to go to the main roster. And I really do think she still is a candidate to go to the main roster soon. She's just getting going now. The car's been warmed up. She's moving now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her go up alongside Roxanne. But this has been a really good feud lately. I'm I'm actually excited to see where it goes because this could be the thing that catapults Kalani to the next level. Because she's had more of an edge to her lately. She's I'm not gonna say she's been a going leaning more heel territory, but I will say she's cutting away from that clean all white meat baby face, and she's getting to the Drew McIntyre baby face where you have common sense. If you win a spot, you're not just gonna give it away. If you sit there and get a title shot, you're not gonna put it on the line against somebody. I think that's where we're going with Kalani. She's going to be the more modern heel that makes sense, uses their brain when they're in the ring, and have decisions to make.
I'm all over that. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, makes perfect sense. Let's get into our main event of the evening, though.
Ooh,
Not the main event of the evening, but let's talk
ooh.
about tag team wrestling. So we got Fraxiom on one side, clearly being scouted by the artists known as Do It Yourself. They got the guy with the beard, and then the guy that they call John Wrestling. He's a Clevelander, big fan of spaghetti and chili, which is gross. But neither here nor there. Driz, what do we call those guys? The other team again.
They have officially earned their name tonight. This was such a good match by Fraxium and OTM. I don't
OTM,
have to I don't have
not
to
the
call
Butter
them.
Boys.
I
I was
don't.
waiting for the Butter
Oh
Boys.
no, that's the other team.
It's
This
the
was
other
this
team. I know.
OTM was who I was calling Tights and Tims.
Yeah,
Tights
Tyson
and
Tim.
Tims.
They
Tights
have
and Tims.
officially earned their
Sorry.
names. Nima Price, outstanding work today. This is why NXT is so rewarding to watch. Guys who came in just clear blank slates and then watch them grow and learn. Like just watching them figure. It's like watching a baby learn how to walk. It's just the most amazing thing. And now they're full fledged flying and with the best tag team in the business right now. They put on a great match, a great clash of styles. They didn't try to match Fraxium. They sat there and did what they knew how to do, and that is toss people around and hurt them. It was a great clash of styles, but Fraxium toward the end of it, we've gotten to the point Fraxium's not winning by the skins of their teeth anymore. They're not winning by the skin of their asses. They are dominating in the last 4 or 5 minutes of that match. They dominated OTM. Put uh put Price through a table. I think it was Price. Put one up to a
Yes.
table, and then they took out the other inside the ring. Great tag team wrestling. Great logical thinking on all sides of the match, and I cannot tell you how proud I am of OTM. They're not a joke anymore.
They
They're the
aren't.
real deal. They
They
are a real
are.
deal.
And I gotta say this too, to Fraxium's credit,
Mm-hmm.
I have dogged the tag team division in every promotion
Mm-hmm.
over the last 2 years because it's been terrible. I've been right, to be
Mhm.
clear. I'm not admitting fault in any way. I want everyone to know I'm absolutely correct. It's been garbage in every way possible. But Fraxium has been, it has just been a diamond on a dog's ass in every way possible. Fraxium has figured something out, and that is no knock on OTM here tonight. This was a good tag team match. But Fraxium is the highest quality tag team week in and week out, whether it's storytelling related or not. They've been the best in the ring at tag team wrestling, and they've made the matches that need to matter. And they've wrestled them at a level that's off the charts. And it's time to actually stop any idea of them splitting up, because this is the main roster tag team that needs to do the same on the main roster. Because every time they strap up and have a tag match, it's off the charts. And it's not because of the idea that Nathan Frazier and the artist formerly known as A Kid might break up as a tag team. Knock it off. Stop it. They're as good of a tag team as anybody. Motor City Machine Guns have been what? A tag team for 20 years. They've broken up 11 times. How many times we see them wrestle in TNA? Stop it. Stop it with
That's the
Fraxium
first
right
5
now.
years.
Allow them to be a great tag team. Allow
Yeah.
tag teams to be great tag teams. Do not mess this up, WWE. This is my PSA. I'm asking, I'm begging.
Yeah.
Don't mess this
Begging
up.
you.
Don't mess it up. Shad, I want your thoughts on the whole thing, though. We had
So
Fraxium OTM.
I wanna touch on obviously this match tonight was another great showing, another borderline classic from Fraxium. But I wanted to touch on the point that you mentioned with our guest, our second guest on NXT tonight, and that was Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. DIY versus Fraxium is not a match for a title, in my opinion. DIY versus Fraxium is a match for a legacy. And when I say that, whoever wins that match, I think you can crown them as the greatest NXT tag team in the history of NXT. That's why I think this match is being set. And I think that is the importance of it, because we talk about what DIY has accomplished in NXT historically. You can make a case that Fraxium has surpassed them for the calendar year that they've just had as a unit. Like they're so the quality of in-ring work that they have is absolutely absurd. I give a lot of credit to Roxanne Perez this past year, being as young as she is and elevating the competition that she's going against. That's the same thing with Fraxium. They're going against people that are not for the line tag teams. They're not wrestling the Street Profits on a weekly basis. They're not wrestling Motor City Machine Guns. They're not wrestling Los Lotharios. You know, they're going against people that are relatively new. You know, OTM they're great. They have a lot of potential to be good, but they're not at that level. But they look like they were at that level tonight because of who they were going against. These guys are transcending tag team in 2024 going into 2025 that we are in right
Yes.
now. Like there is not a tag team in pro wrestling better than them. And I mean that from like everything I'm saying. I've watched a bunch of Young Bucks matches last year. I've watched a bunch of FTR matches on AEW. I've watched a bunch of tag teams kill it in New Japan as well, man. These guys are the bar. And if they were given an opportunity to mix it up with the people I named, you would see how damn special they are. So to me, yeah, this is gonna be one of the ones for those two once they go at it.
I'm so
It's-
with you.
It definitely will be for the legacy of NXT tag team wrestling because
Yeah.
DIY probably the best to come out of NXT. That tag team probably the best tag team. I
And it
know everybody
shouldn't
wants to
be
say FTR,
War Raiders.
or they want to say the War Raiders, they want to say the Undisputed Era, and there might be a bit of a they might have to do a little bit more to get on the level of the Undisputed Era, but for the most part, it's DIY.
But DIY to me isn't even a tag team. They don't like each other. DIY's story is defined by them fighting each other. They
You're
did
not
it
wrong.
against
No,
themselves.
I do
They're
agree that they have
DAIY
they
You're
have
in
not
my
wrong.
eyes.
Gargano and Ciampa have the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens dynamic within the storyline.
Which is the
They're-
best tag team to ever come out of NXT. I'm kidding. But
No, those are the two best maybe wrestlers to come out of NXT.
there you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
but,
definitely
I mean,
gonna be this is definitely a grappler for positions question, but who would be the top 5 tag teams in out of NXT?
Let's run it down. We've already gone overtime. Let's run it. Let's spitball this on air because you know what? People are still hanging out with us, so you will still hang out with you. We got eight
So,
to
I
9
mean-
minutes to do this.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
So-
Help us out with the comments.
So I mean, like you mentioned it.
Top
okay.
5 ever.
DIY,
Ever NXT tag teams.
DIY,
So Wyatt, do the
the
Wyatts
Revival.
count?
They were NXT tag team champions, yes.
Because I would say the Wyatts are in there. Revival.
The
I would
Revival,
definitely,
mentioned
yes, the Revival. The
Undisputed
Undisputed
Era,
Era.
Street Profits.
Profits. Dang it. And then I might go. I mean, there's so many.
I mean,
though.
Ricochet and Aleister Black was kind of. They was
Well,
kinda-
that was wild.
I can't give them that because they never won the tag titles.
Yeah, they never won the titles though. That's true.
Who else? We're missing some.
MSK from Bobby.
MSK, Fraxiom,
Ooh,
DIY Fraxiom Revival,
Jordan and Gable. Was
Jordan
a
and
good
Gable. Isn't that the American?
American
American
They
Alpha.
were American Alpha, yeah.
Yeah, Profits.
Nah, they was like that.
Who
American Alpha
else?
was like
Oh,
that.
man, we're missing some
AOP.
good
We had
ones.
AOP. AOP actually beat DIY and the Revival in the same match.
I mean, AOP
You,
were
you
fun.
know who,
I mean,
you know who was a good tag team that we don't talk about much? Murphy and Blake and Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
They were a really good tag
Alright.
team.
Oni Lorcan and Danny Birch.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
That's a good
Yep.
one too. I would also say, honestly, as weird as it sounds, the Ascension were better than people gave them credit for until they got to the main roster.
Okay.
The
They were
Ascension,
really good in NXT.
they were victims of NXT at that time because they were still trying to build that division, and there was nobody left except the Lucha Dragons.
Those are good too.
Yo, so
Yeah,
I salute to
I can't say that name, but they got some good ones.
Laga.
Cigar Laga Jobar.
Yeah. Salute to T Dog. I'm gonna call you T Dog. D take the nickname, bro. It's dope. DIY, American Alpha, MSK, Red Dragon, and TMDK, formerly known as TM61. I don't know, man. I think I got I would put Fraxiom above MSK.
I would too. Fraxiom definitely deserves to be
Fraxiom's
in this.
probably in there.
Ooh,
Imperium.
and you know what? There's another one we need to add. And we also need to add Grizzled Young Vets.
GYV, dang it. Why are you doing that to me, Drizzy? This is supposed to be that close to the end of the show.
GYD and Mustache Mountain.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Seven.
Okay. Fair.
Homie Trent 7, bro. I wish he was.
There's
back
got to
in the
be, we're missing something too. We're missing like a big one.
Bobby dropped Imperium, and they were a big deal.
Gallus.
Imperium was like that.
Gallus,
NXT,
if you're
NXT
including
UK
UK, NXT UK Gallus, yeah.
No, he meant Michael Gallup.
Sanity,
Sanity
Michael
was.
Gallup.
I
Wasn't
want
that
to put.
like the
I don't
slot
know. I don't
receiver for
know.
the Cowboys?
Yeah. Screw that
Saturday
guy.
were more characters than champions, but they were a decent team.
Imperium's a good
Whoa,
shout.
beat
American Alpha's a
Damo.
great shout.
Well, and Damo's killing it in progress.
Mhm.
Half of Sanity is killing it in progress, and then the other half is in the White Six.
Mhm.
American Alpha was a great shout. Man, I went on a rant about Chad Gable today too.
Who else do we got? I mean, there's the classic. What is it? Hype and the Hype Bros.
Yep, the Hype Bros.
Hype
That
Bros,
was a thing.
very
That was a thing.
NXT. Hype Bros.
So we say all that to say this: if you take Fraxiom out the tag division at this current juncture of time,
Yeah, we're all in
we
trouble.
might be talking about the worst tag division in pro wrestling.
The Creeds.
Yeah.
We're sad.
Yes.
The Creeds are really good, but I feel like they kind of got caught up a little bit. Quick.
Hey, and then
right?
Damo and Axel Tischer, yes, they very much are tearing it up in progress. Yes,
Yeah, they
every
are.
time they're out there, they're awesome.
For sure.
I will say that.
But yeah. Oh yeah, Enzo and Cass.
Oh my God.
That might have been the big one you were thinking of.
Like
Enzo
you
and Cass.
said, that is exactly the big one I was thinking of. Coach 23. He's 7 feet tall, and I'll tell you what, you can't teach that. Speaking of things you can't teach, we'll be back same time, same place next week, Tuesday night, for Off the Air. Join us. We'll be on for the daily broadcast throughout the week. Check that out. Everything here on WR. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. It helps us out a ton. That's how we keep going, which is nice. But just keep going. Just like Nemo. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate you so much.
Just keep swimming, you mean?
Have an excellent, whatever. Just keep going, swimming, same thing. Just keep swimming. Either way, that is still the end of the show, despite what Shad just said. Have an excellent Tuesday night. Get some tacos. Do whatever you like to do, and we will talk to you all soon. Have a good one. And sorry, I've got like a list of enders, and I'm out of them.